All right, Thursday, we're finally at June 1st. We have our full body. This is an AMRAP. That stands for that stands for as many reps as possible or as many rounds as possible. And we're all doing 20 minutes. So with this, you can just hit your regular timer, input 20 minutes. When 20 minutes is up, you're done. Or you can watch a clock for 20 minutes. When 20 minutes is up, you're done. So we have 5 burpees, 10 dead bug to layout, and 20 alternating weighted lunges. So 5 burpees, I'm just gonna show you the half. Dead bug to layout. Dead bug layout 1. 2. Alternating weighted lunges. So you can do forward, just as long as you're alternating, or reverse, doesn't matter. Okay, so the way that the AMRAP works is, again, you set your timer, you just work for that amount of time. When the timer goes up, you're done. So you're not necessarily doing it where you go burpees, dead bug lunges, pause. Burpees, dead bug lunges, pause. You're just gonna continually repeat until you need to take a break. So you might be able to repeat those 3 things 6 times before you need a break. Or if you pace yourself correctly, you might not need to take a break at all. You just keep working for 20 minutes. So the point of these exercises is you're trying to get as much work done as possible, as many reps as possible, which usually you get more done than in a standard rounds workout because you just keep working, right? So if you're interested to know how much you got done, after you finish the 3, you would tally. Finish 3, tally. Doesn't mean you take a break, just means you tally. And then at the end, you multiply your tally by the number of reps, so each is different. So it would be, say you got 10, it'd be 10 times 5, 10 times 10, 10 times 20. That tells you how many reps you got done, okay? So that's the point of this type of workout. It's kind of like a self-challenge. You obviously take it however you want to take it, but that's how it works. You just keep running through the exercises with no set rest, okay? So for your burpees, this is another one that hasn't quite a lot of variations, just like your push-up does, because they're pretty similar. So your easiest version would be off of a height. So I'm going to use my chair seat. So I'm going to go down on my chair seat with my hands, jump out into what would be a high plank, jump back in, jump up. 1, down, out, in, up. If you can't jump, omit the jump at the top, okay? Down, out, in, up, all right? Your next progression, which is what most people do, is your half burpee. So instead of putting your hands to the chair seat, you're gonna put your hands to the ground. Hands to the ground, jump out, jump in, wide squat stance, jump up. 1, down, out, in, up, okay? Full burpee. Hands to the ground, but your body's gonna go to the ground. Down, jump out, crumble to the floor. Press up, high squat, wide squat, jump up. 1, hands down, high plank, crumble to the floor. Up into your wide squat, up, down, out, up, up, okay? So the full one is a little bit difficult, not only because you're bearing your full weight, but there is a rhythm to it. So you'll notice that when I go down, back up, it almost looks like I'm doing the worm, right? I have a very specific roll to my body. So if you don't have that down or you don't find what type of rhythm works for you, it's a little bit more tricky. So it does take practice and time and strength to get to that. So if you find like you're doing them, but you are just doing them way too slow or they're way too tiring for you, then you'll go with the half burpee. Dead bug to layout. These are my favorite because they don't take a lot of energy, but they work so well. So especially if you've had children, this is such a good one for your core, for strengthening your core. If you have, I never say it properly, but where your abs separate from childbirth, this, I believe, is a good one for rehabbing that. It's just very good for your core in general, and it does work your full body. So you're gonna have your legs bent. You can have your head down, or you can have your neck and head off the ground. It's up to you. Your arms are up You're gonna lower opposite arm, opposite leg, nice and slow and controlled. Neither one of them hit the ground. Return to the middle. Lower the other two sides. Don't hit the ground. Return to the middle. Now we're gonna do our layout, which is both hands, both legs, stretch out, return to the middle, one. So single, single, double, two, okay? So with your layout, you want to try and keep your lower back sucked to the ground. You do that by engaging your core. So this is me. Let's see if I can get it on video. So this is me not engaging. This is me engaging. So notice how much my legs move. So this is me allowing space under my lower back. This is me sucking my back to the floor, okay? So if you're not sure, do this exercise a couple times and you'll see which muscles you need to be using to suck your back to the ground. So when you do that layout, you need to engage those muscles to keep your back on the ground. If I don't, I end up like this, okay? Which isn't horrible. It's not the end of the world if that happens. I did them like that and other ab exercises like that for years. It's just, it could eventually irritate your lower back, but also it takes away from the effectiveness of the exercise. So you're not gonna probably hurt yourself if you do that. You're just not gonna get the full effect. And one thing I want to mention is that when you do engage like that, you're gonna notice that you might not be able to lower your legs as much, okay? Because your lower abs are in charge of lowering your legs. So when you are not engaged, you can go really far because you're basically balancing on your butt cheeks because all of your back is off the ground. When you do engage, for me, it's only really comfortable to go like here and not much lower because I know once I go lower, I'm gonna start to lift off the ground. So that's another thing to keep in mind. You don't have to, if you're trying really hard to do that engaging, don't be so concerned about how low your legs go. And then last, we have alternating weighted lunges. So lunges in general, I'm going to talk about because we do those a lot in the program. And it's a very basic move that you need to know. So when you lunge, whether you go forward or backward, you always want to make sure you can see both feet. So whether I step forward or whether I step backward, I have to be able to see both feet. We call this a railroad, walking on a railroad. If you can't see both feet and they're in line, that's called a tightrope. So this would be a tightrope. So when you step forward or back into your lunge, you always want to see both feet. So if I step forward, I see both feet. And not only do I see both feet, both my toes are pointing forward, my knees, my hips, and my shoulders are all pointing forward, okay? If I step back, it's the same thing. Everything is still pointing forward. I'm gonna sink down about 90 degree, sink down about 90 degree, push off and return. Sink about 90 degrees, step up and return, okay? So it's the same motion no matter which way you go. And you also wanna make sure that you're keeping your back fairly upright. It's okay to lean kind of like this. You just don't wanna be like this, okay? You don't wanna be hunched, you don't want your back to be rounded. And you'll find sometimes it might hurt your knee. Sometimes it might hurt. Lunges can be weird if you do have some knee issues. Sometimes lunges don't bother me at all. Sometimes I can't do them at all because my kneecap feels like it's gonna pop off. So sometimes that happens, that's okay. Sometimes what I try to do is I try to think about my forward leg more and putting the weight there more versus having it be more like even and sinking down in the middle. That tends to hurt my back knee more. So sometimes I try to think in my brain, like go in emphasis the front, like feel it right here on that crevice, like try to put everything there. And sometimes that helps. So, and again, sometimes people just can't do lunges. So then again, you would want to have that, some exercises ready from that bending bad knees video, ready to plug in for that time.